Gang, 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 gang. Top of the morning, man. Top of the morning. Rise and shine, rise and grind. Everybody out there, wake up. You feel me? Wake up at your best, not your lowest. Because today is a beautiful day. This is one of the greatest days, gang. Um, I had to hop up and go live. I ain't been live in a while. I have been dropping a lot of vids, though. You feel me? Shout out to me. Yes, sir. I've been on ass with the vids coming, back to back with them, giving y'all more information about what's taking place out here, what's going on. Um, I got a vid today, and not just a vid. That's why I have to go live with it. But we probably stop at a few podcast streets. You feel me? And see what's taking place out here because Tay Key out here, rapper, well, producer. I'm not sure if he ever rapped. Um, Somebody did say he had a few before he started producing, but super producer, ultra producer Tay Keith has passed away. Condolences to the family. And a lot of people are saying that it could have been a home invasion. I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of that. But what I want to do is, like I said, I want to take time to go into some podcast channels, podcast lanes and streets and see what the hell is taking place out here. Because man, these artists is dying left and right. They rich, they young, they got a life ahead of them. I mean, it's just shocking that they don't got more protection. They're not, more feasible when it comes to safety. So shout out to my boy, call me Kinfolk. He always do the gematria, comparisons when it comes to these artists. But I like it because it make a lot of sense when you do it. When you get to look at it. Like I was doing some gematria comparison on Leonard Skinner. And what made me do that is the Aaliyah case, right? I did a video the other day about the Aaliyah situation because nobody ever really touched back on Aaliyah and her death or, things of that nature. But I had to get to the bottom of that. Like, wait, who murdered Aaliyah? Why didn't nobody really say nothing there? I think I was going down the rabbit hole. I have a video part 2 coming to that, so that will be coming shortly. But let's dive into this one and see what is up, man. Because, like I said, I just watched this one, and actually we'll watch it. Shout out to my boy Sean Cotton. Shout out to Sean Cotton, one of the greatest podcasters ever. he be going crazy when he get the people on his channel. He help them. He look out for them. He teach them. I noticed that. Like Sean Cotton really be teaching you how to podcast, not just interviewing you, but he teach you, give you the ropes. But he said a few things, man. He spoke.
Man, just left the movies. Seen Toy Story 5. Really good movie. Based on technology kids. But anyway, walked out. My Memphis homie really broke the news for real. And he told me that Tay Keith, producer, we go back, super producer. I don't even want to play with his name. Super producer Tay Keith passed away in Memphis today. This guy is responsible for breaking for the sound. I don't even want to say, I want to say the sound. Like this guy, he brought a whole new sound to the game. He's responsible for Sexy Red. He's done a lot for Drake. Man, I'll be here all day naming artists that he has worked with. But Tay Keith, the last few years, he's really been putting game down, man. Like, I mean, it was a point in time you couldn't go nowhere without hearing the Tay Keith beat. Now, I don't want to assume, but just based off what people tell me about Tay Keith, we got a lot of mutuals. He was a super low-key guy. I don't think he was in the streets. He lived in the studio. He was a student of the game. Yeah, he passed away. Like I said, I don't want to assume nothing, but I don't think he was murdered or was any crazy violence with him. We can only assume it was, what a lot of other legends passed away with, man. Drugs, overdosage. But we can only assume. I could be wrong, and I apologize if I'm wrong. But
yeah, a lot of artists do. They pass away like that. And it'd be sad, gang. It's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate because, like I said, I think that some of these artists they don't be having nobody in their background guiding them or pushing them. Like, hey, yo, you got to do right. You got to, you feel me? Calm down a little bit. You got to do this and that and other. I ain't never seen no artists really with teammates on their side doing that shit. If y'all notice, every artist they got a group with them, or you understand what I'm saying? If they got somebody with them, this person always pushing them to do worse. They never really pushing them to do, you know what I'm saying, greater. It's always worse. It's always to spend all their money, you know. It's never to get themselves together, go to the gym and exercise. And I think that's foul, you know, because why in the fuck would I want to have buddies around me that's not pushing me in a positive direction? Right? Well, you noticed that about these artists, because I think somebody noticed that about Kodak Black friends. And not only his, but it was another guy. Uh I can't think of his name right now, but he had some friends with him, and at the show, they whooped one of the fans, you know, kicked his ass, and they put him in a concussion, because the fan wanted an autograph. You know, white boy wanted an autograph, and you could tell he wasn't on no drama or nothing like that. He came up, he had a different accent, like British accent. You know, right away, the dude, guys, his entourage, they call him, they jumped all over this boy for no reason, man. I'm talking about literally for no reason. And the artist got sued behind that shit. You know, it's because his buddies they know what they're doing. You know, they don't know when to flash out, when to show their strength or when to calm down. I think that's bad. But Tay Key, you know, I don't know much about him. I do know he was banging them beats out. Nigga, he had Sexy Red beats going crazy. Every time a beat come on, you hear that shit. Tay Key. I'm talking about then the beat go crazy. So that's what made me like her beats. I don't like her music, you know. Sorry, Sexy Red, nothing towards you. You must got a great craft because they paid you for it. But I just think, you know, like his beats is, and it's for a lot of producers, the beats really make the artist stand out. You know, if the artist ain't got great beats, you can have a weak ass beat, but nowadays ain't nobody finna want to play the song because the beat got to catch them. They got to be able to vibe to your rhythm. You know what I'm saying? You ain't never heard a song where the artist just jump right on and he rapping and now you vibing to the rap. You know, Lauryn Hill did a whole CD with no beats, and I think that was the purpose to show people like, hey, yo, the artist got to have talent themselves. But when it comes to Tay Keith, his beats was all of those. His beats sounded like it was rapping. You know, like he didn't need an artist on the beat. His beat sounded like it had a voice built in itself. You feel me? His beat sounded like his own self-made artist. That's how good he was at creating these beats. You only get a few producers who make beats like that, but you know, it's hard when we lose good producers this young, talented ones. Some that was like really embedded into their craft. You know, when you get those that's embedded into their craft, like Tay Key, like Zaytoven. Shout out to Zaytoven too. He's an excellent producer. They are beyond genius. They like Beethoven. You know, when you get them, they can zone out in their craft. They can zone out in what they do and their creativity. And it sounds, I'm talking about ultra. My God, they are geniuses. They are not of this world, you know. But if you let other people tell it, I guess.
Yes, you know, but that's been a major thing in music. I don't even want to just say hip hop, but music. He was super young. Hits. Super young, man. And you know, we always talk about what's going on with rap. What this, that. What's going on with rap? If you just go back and just think for the last 10 years, let's say 2000, I can go further back to 14, 13 when Speaker Knockers died, Dobie died, Bankroll Fresh died.
Dobie,
Man, if
Bankroll, Speaker Knockers, Dobie, and Bankroll, they was all dope, y'all. Speaker Knockers, man. Then Dobie died, you know, he popping. He know what he talking about right now. Those were some of the coldest niggas out. Overdoses. I think. Overdoses.
Go back and just look over the years, and we all talk about why rap ain't this and rap ain't that. Think about how many people have passed away in the rap space. From producers, man, you just think, not even just drill rap, but just think of the drugs, just think of natural causes, diseases, World Star, Q from World Star, Zach T, just all the rappers, suicide, all the rappers. Rap has over 100 people have passed, 200 people have passed and went to jail in rap. So that right there is a big piece of, we don't talk about it often, but just people dying in the rap space, man. Drugs, violence, diseases. I mean, and people can't fill these spots. Nipsey Hussle, like, people can't fill these spots. XXX, Juice WRLD, XXX died 8 years ago today. Jimmy Wapo, like, these are real once in a lifetime, generational kids. Like, we act like, when these people die, a new one can pop up.
That echo had to been in the back. My bad.
These are once in a lifetime.
But I didn't know XXX died 8 years ago on the day that Tay Keith died. I did not know that. Now that made me want to look into it too. I got another video though. My boy called Kinfolk. Now he do these, run throughs of these videos of podcasters. I mean, not podcasters, but artists, celebs, and he run their names through this Jewish gematria calculator, right? And then doing so, he get back all types of words, types of codes, types of things of that nature. I like what he do, and to me, I ain't never seen nobody ever do this, but it be making a lot of sense when you get to pulling these answers and shit out. I'm like, wait, hold up. I never seen this done. Never, but I got a video where I'm going to play that portion of that for y'all. Kinfolk, he gonna basically, break down everything numbers by numbers, because he said they do murder by numbers. If any one of you guys ever heard that, then you know what I'm talking about. If you didn't, look up a dude called ABC. You feel me? Let's dive. Let me see if this video. Okay, yeah, it is. It's down here. I want to see what Kinfolk talking about. Shout out to Call Me Kinfolk. Let me see what's taking place over here.
Yes, sir. Now, today, we gonna talk Tay Keith. Now, if you don't know Tay Keith, you definitely have heard the songs that he has produced, right? He's produced Sicko Mode with Travis Scott and Drake. Man, the list goes on and on. He's produced for most of the industry. Drake, 21 Savage, Sexy Red, all these people that you see, Key Glock, Moneybag Yo, the list goes on and on, right? So this guy, Tay Keith, is responsible for a lot of the music, right, that we have heard throughout the years. And now we sitting here on June 19th, right? Today is June 19th. They just said yesterday that Tay Keith has passed away, right? So without further ado, we're going to look deep into this situation, man, and we're going to see what's going on. Now, first and foremost, Tay Keith, Grammy-nominated record producer, found dead in Nashville at 29. Now they say Keith was found dead in his home, and they say no foul play is suspected in the prolific hit maker's death, police said. So you already know. So obviously he wasn't bleeding or nothing like that. So most likely what they're gonna say is that he overdosed, right? That's what they always say. When they say no foul play, they gonna come out with the overdose, right? So with that being said, found dead in Nashville at 29 years old.
It's delicate.
Nah, let's break.
Yo, look, I had to stop it right there because he finna go deep. You already heard what he said. When they usually say these artists and shit, when they die, it wasn't no foul play. You better believe there's always a story that can, cover up for this death. And usually what they'll do is an overdose, and we've seen it multiple times with other artists. If you look back and you do your comparisons, you're like, wait, hold on. Yeah, because a lot of times it'd be some of the greatest artists, some of the greatest celebrities, greatest movie actors, who made millions and millions. And when you do your research, they like, damn, it wasn't no foul play, but yeah, it was an overdose. And then when you look into the documentations or the paperwork about the death, everybody had the same thing that's laid out on the table. Oh, well, he died from overdose. It was this on the table, that on the table next to a needle. Okay, you go to Amy Winehouse. Well, she died from overdose. It was this on the table, a bottle of liquor, because they know she let her drink, and a needle. You go to this other celebrity. Speaking of, when they found him, yeah, he was dead, but he had pills on the table. He had this and a needle. And nobody ever stopped to think like, wait, where the fuck did the needle ever come from? We didn't know all these artists were shooting up. You know what I'm saying? They doing heroin or something. Like, what's going on? And so it makes you get to looking deep. And you're like, damn, should we be looking for these marks and shit on their ass, or how it's going? And the next thing another one hit, another artist died before you can even finish trying to put this together about the last one. So it's a distracted world, and they're gonna keep it that way because of you can't keep up, you can't pay attention. So he finna get into this though, like a little deep. Like I said, Kinfolk, he know this too well. He know it too well, and I believe this is where I got the number studying part from. I seen some people on YouTube doing it, and not only him, but I seen a pair of white guys, and they got more subscribers than Kinfolk. And he was actually on one of their podcasts, but they invited him on for an interview. But these guys been doing it for years. They said they've been doing it over 30 years because the Jewish do it. So it's crazy, man. But let's dive back into this.
This down because Tay Keith, born Brigtavius LaKeith Chambers, was born on September 20th. Now, September 20th, breaking that down, that's 29 date numerology that he was born on. The same numerology he would end up dying around. Dying at the age of 29. And Tay Keith is somebody that I think they really sacrifice. I really don't have and record. It's something in my soul. I can feel it. Keith is not one of those people that I feel fake their death. I really feel that this is one of these people that really get sacrificed in this industry, right? And we're gonna really talk about it. Right? RIP equals 29 as well. And this is gematria, the work of turning letters into their numerical value. And by peeling these words and these numbers back, we'll really see a riddle. Solving these things is like solving a riddle, right? So let's keep going. So, if we get the span of Tay Keith's life, right? He died on the 29th year and the 272nd day of his age. Just like RIP equals 29 and death equals 272 in the reverse satanic cipher. Now, satanic, right? The satanic cipher. The way that this is calculated is A equals 36. I know you see 61. You like, Kenfolk, what you talking about? It says 61 right there. Well, it also says reverse. So let me talk about regular satanic, right? Regular satanic starts with the letter A being 36 because 666, right? Just as it says in scripture, mark of man, mark of beast is 606 score, or something like that with the word score is 666, right? So that, and 666 is the 36 triangular number. So that's why in the satanic cipher, A starts with 36, right? So reverse, put that in reverse, the English language in reverse backwards. So A will equal 61, right? A will equal 61. But come on. "38 weeks after his last birthday." Just like, once again, death, RIP. Now they have a movie. They have a movie that subliminally puts this in the cover art.
Now, I told y'all, just like the Maverick approach, everything is always in the movies. They put it in the movie right there in your face. Because this is one of their ways to disclose the information, the things they doing, y'all, because, you know, they supposed to always disclose these murders and everything. To be honest, I don't know if any one of y'all knew that. When they get to killing people, when the government get the, taking people's souls, it always supposed to be disclosed because of a little bitty bill, or a little bitty rule that has been made by the government also. But what they do, they slick way of disclosing these aliens and murders and things like that. They put it in movies. And it's also a law that's been created to, classify or clarify that. Since it is in a movie, that is a way of disclosing it to America, disclosing it to the owner of the country, civilians, basically. So when I say they playing a game in America, it is a game. Because not only is it a game, they own everybody in this country. If you in this country, they own you, they own the country. So by law, the law that was created through them, they got the right to do what they want to do with some of these people. And that explains the death of people. And everybody like, damn, this wrong. Well, they never told nobody that though. You got to do your deep American research. And that's what's crazy. A lot of other people do know this already, but
said movie, the movie Murder by Numbers. As you can see, in replace of the E, we have the number 3. And in place of the B, we have the letter 8, right? So they showing you murder by numbers with that number 3 and the number 8, 38. Even the word murder equals 38. So yes, I believe Tay Keith was murdered. I do believe it was foul play. I do believe it was foul play. Right? I believe he was drugged or something of that nature. Murder equals 38. Now, if we talk about Tay Keith's birthday, because it says in the Satanic Bible, right? Written by the founder of the Church of Satan, Anton LaVey. It says in the Satanic Bible that one's own day of birth is the highest religion in a satanic, the highest holiday in a satanic religion is one's own day of birth. So you have to know these record labels. They don't even let these artists drop albums when they want to. Everything is strategic, down to the timing of the songs, right? The songs that you hear on the album are all picked by the label, right? Down to the lengths of each song, the length of the whole album, the day that it comes out, everything is calculated, right? So these deaths are no different. Now, Tay Keith was found dead in his apartment on the 8th month and the 30th day of his age. Now, in numerology rules, zeros have no value. So we have 83, which is once the reflection of 38. Reflections. Murder by numbers. So now we got 83. And murder also equals 83 in the English language in reverse. Murder. Even the person that they chose to star in this movie about Murder by Numbers, Sandra Bullock, equals 83. So there's no such thing as a coincidence, right? How many coincidences does it take? If that's the case, if we do have coincidence, if this all is a coincidence, how many of them does it take? Now moving along, right? Because Tay Keith passed away on the 8th anniversary of XXX Tentacion's death day, June 18th. So both of these artists, this producer Tay Keith and then this artist XXX, both have the same death day of June 18th, right? And it's always these guys that make their death causes like a ripple effect.
No, that's crazy, y'all. You see how he got this shit right here on the screen. I ain't never seen him with both of the artists' pictures, next to each other, and then the death date and the birthday. So, and you know what would be even deeper if we took. Okay, so I could see Tay Keith born 1996, XXXTentacion born 1998, January, September. So that's what, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. That's 8 months in between each other's birth. Also, I'm not gonna do these numbers like kinfolk. You feel me? I can, but I'm not gonna do it because it's a lot of numbering. You got to do. It's a whole bunch of brain work. But this shit is crazy though, because it is right there in the face. Look, he died in his homeland. Hey, do you know this too, y'all? Look, they died in their homeland. They died. Look, XXXTentacion born in Plantation, Florida. He died in Deerfield Beach, Florida. Tay Keith, he born in Memphis, Tennessee. He died in Nashville, Tennessee. Now, I wonder if we get to pulling up more artists' death records and, they wiki records like this, will we notice that? That's the first time I ever noticed this shit. That's crazy. That's crazy because look, at the end of the day, I told you, they got the shit right there in the numbers, and they show you right in our face, and then make you think shit. Well, man, you know how long they've been doing that to us, bro? Make us think it's this, make us think it's that, And then once you start paying attention, they gotta try to switch the game up because they already know somebody on to it, y'all. Now we gotta make another, we gotta read up. Man. I'm talking about, man.
Right? Y'all remember when X died? All the commotion that it made, all the sound that it made, all the noise that it made. Now Tay Keith seems to be that same type of person because of all the music that he's responsible for. So it's like this one really smack in the hip hop community when it's a producer, because it's the person that's behind all of the music that you hear. He made the beat. You see what I'm saying? So this seems like an industry sacrifice to me. This seems like an industry sacrifice. I don't believe there's just one sole person behind this. I feel like this is a sacrifice for the industry because of the fact that he was responsible for so much music. His death is like they look at these people that they sacrifice, they look at them as Jesus, right? If you watch the movie Him, they explain that each person is chosen, and they're chosen, and then they get sacrificed for a greater good in their eyes. Like, man, you laid your life down. You laid your life down for this. All this music that you made, everything that you're responsible for, and then you laid down your life for this industry. They look at you like a martyr when they sacrifice you like this. They look at you like a Jesus head, a Jesus figure, right? And we gonna tap in on that, right? Because, like I said, Tay Keith died the same day that XXXTentacion died. Tay Keith was born, if we break down his birthday, he was born on 144 date numerology. Now, X's real name, Jazzy Onfroy, also equals 144. 144. I know that's clicking in a lot of people's heads, that number 144. In biblical prophecy, the number 144,000 famously appears in the book of Revelation as a select.
Yep. Y'all see it. Y'all remember that script out the Bible. It said only 144,000 people will make it into heaven, will be chosen. I know y'all remember that. If y'all do y'all studies, if any one of you motherfuckers believe in God, you believe in whatever you believe in, and I know you read that book, whatever book you read, I guarantee it was in there. It said that 144,000. And I know you niggas see that symbolization and that synchronization between the two names that he just put together. You feel me? A lot of you motherfuckers gonna try not to see it, but bitch, you can't dodge that. It's impossible to dodge. When we tell y'all these industry people is beyond smarter than us, they are. You know, they do different studies than us. They do different research. You know, they homework different. You see what the studies they give us? These weak problems in your house, these weak block problems, weak neighborhood and neighbor problems. And look at what they dealing with. They killing artists and taking money, making sacrifices, draining blood. They making us think these artists is dying from overdoses, getting killed in the fucking hoods. They had beef, and the whole fucking time, none of this is taking place. None of this is true. You feel me? That's the fucking wool over the eyes that they can pull. Just like Tupac and Biggie. Like, think about it. Now that shit makes so much sense because everybody really thought Tupac and Big out here beefing. Man, get the fuck out of here. If both of these motherfuckers just said they was the best of friends, why would y'all still believe they beefing? Make this shit make sense.
Select group of servants sealed by God. Its interpretation varies widely. A number of people, while others consider it a symbolic representation of all the faithful. So knowing, like I said, the Satanic Bible and how Baphomet flips everything, right? It's the Baphomet is a male goat with breasts, right? So you see how evil, bad is good, good is bad. So if they flip everything, so is this number, are these artists that's in the industry and these celebrities that's in the industry that get marked, what God are they being sealed by? Is my question. Is this a double entendre for something?
It seemed like for those of y'all that only know one Bible, I know y'all ain't read that Satanic Bible. Y'all haven't went and read that Satan Bible. You're the group of rich people who got that Bible, and that's the Bible they believe in. Now they got all us in the streets. We got this Holy Bible. It say Holy Bible on the front of it. These niggas out there in the industry and in the rich people houses, they are reading a Satanic Bible. Like, it's satanic. And he just named the person who created that Bible. So they flipping everything that we believe, and they use the opposite of it, you know, and it shows right here. You know, they got too many symbolizations, synchronizations, too many numbers, and this Jewish geometria calculation shit that they use and they get all these numbers. Like, how do extension name, you know, and numerology value equals out to 144? And that's the same as, you know, take key birthday, right? But I know he finna pop out too that they was born 8 months, well, maybe 8 years apart. And you know what's funny? Wait, let me see. Not even 8 years. I can't say that. I think it was 92 and 96. So 4 years. But he died 8 months apart from when he, you know, was born. And this 8 years ago, Extension passed away. You know, it's a whole bunch of eights in this. A whole bunch of eights that these industries dealing with. The Extension fans, they gonna know. They gonna peep this. They gonna pay attention. They gonna be like, wait, today Extension died. You know what I'm saying? Then they gonna start putting it together. And I think that's probably how kinfolk.
Are you marking people in the industry to be a sacrifice? Now I want y'all thoughts on that. I really want y'all thoughts on that. This like I want y'all thoughts on this part more than any part of this video. Is what y'all think about this 144,000. What do you think that they're saying about these people? Are they sealed by God the Most High? Or are they sealed by Satan? Because God could be anything to you. God could be anybody to you. Who is your God? Sealing you. Because breaking down his date numerology once again, 144, 126. Jesuit order equals 144. Mark of the beast equals a 4. Mark of the beast also equals 126. The same as his birthplace, Memphis, Tennessee, abbreviated, right? Also equals 126. So once again, what do we have going on with this Mark of the Beast and Jesuit order? Like I said, are you flipping it? Are you flipping this? We have the Jesuit order, and then we have the Mark of the Beast with this same number. Specifically Jesuit order, which is the Society of Jesus, the Jesuits, who worship the sun, or the sun, the S-U-N or S-O-N. So these people that have this number, they all end up having the same outcome. These people and they all have the same numbers. Now, Tay Keith went on Instagram November 15, 2021 to talk about the passing of his mother. Right? He said, my mama gained her wings today. Gone so soon, but fought so long. You gone forever live through me, your only son. Now, his mother's death day was November 15th, 2021. If we take Tay Keith's birthday that year, September 20th, 2021, his mother died 1 month and 26 days after Tay Keith's birthday. The 126 once again. The 126. LeBron James was born, I don't know why they had to throw exactly on there. LeBron James was born exactly on December, what was it, midnight or something? 12:00 or something? LeBron James was born exactly on December 30th, 1984. Break that down. Break that date numerology down. We get 126. Kobe Bryant.
So LeBron, so I'm gonna be happening to LeBron soon too. Y'all pay attention. Look at the 126 symbolization. Kobe already got whacked. You know, he had the 126 symbolization, that number. So basically what he's saying is pay attention to the synchronization. Pay attention to the synchronization, you know. This shit ain't by it's not fake, it ain't fraudulent. Pay attention. Look at the numbers. Some of you motherfuckers don't even do the Jewish gematria. So you probably won't even know about the Jesuit order and all that shit. You don't know about the reverse satanic numerology comparisons to the alphabetical order lineup. But if you pay close attention, you would.
France helicopter crash on January 26th. One was on a Sunday. It was on a Sunday. You see where we going with this? You see how when the Jesuit order equals 1206 in the reverse Sumerian cipher, which is the English language multiplied by 6, because the Sumerians believed that 6 was a perfect number. And these are the things we get when we put these organizations and these groups and these cults and these religions, and we add the numerology up. And then we see these same people that's connected in the industry have these same numbers surrounded around them. And then keep in mind, right? He has this 126, and then we got this Kobe connection. And then when did he die? He died on the 8th anniversary of XXXTentacion. You know what I'm saying? But come on. He died on the 8th anniversary. Jesuit order, Tay Keith's span of life was 10,863 days old. But we can put some parentheses in between these numbers. We can put a parentheses right here with the number 108. When Jesuit order equals 108, and then 63, Jesuit order equals 63. So his life seems to be a Jesuit sacrifice. A Jesuit sacrifice.
It's delicate.
Right? Even his Instagram. Now, you know, these people, a lot of these celebrities aren't in control of their own Instagram. They have Instagram managers to monitor what they post, because they can't just have you, especially you somebody with a lot of influence, can't just have you just posting what you want. Can't just have you on here just posting anything to your millions of followers. So who knows if somebody's in control of Tay Keith's account, but at his time of death, his account is following 2,064 people. Now, Tay Keith was born on the 264th day of the year. Just like the word kill equals 264 in the Sumerian cipher. So I believe that Tay Keith was a sacrifice for the music industry. I believe he was a
She get deep, y'all. It's getting deep, you feel me? If you notice, they hiding that shit in numbers. You know, that shit ain't going by names no more. They figure motherfuckers is getting a little smart. Motherfuckers is paying a little more attention now. Or they notice that it's a community of people that understands deeper, you feel me, unseen lingo or unseen language. You know what I'm saying? That's only, you know, obtainable through your subconscious. So check it. The numbers was obtainable to somebody. Shout out, call me Kinfolk once again, because shit, he was able to obtain that shit, right? He's been doing this thing for a while, and let me like this, right, man? He's been doing this thing, and like I said, once he started putting it together, and then I seen the white boys do it, I knew it was real. I was like, shit, because anything you see some white people doing, you already know what's up with that. You feel me? I don't give a fuck who they took it from, what culture. Anytime you see them utilizing it, you better believe it's something else behind that. You know, they know how to take it to the next step, which sometimes every race don't. But if they took this to the next step, they started, you feel me, and went farther with the gematria. And it make a lot of sense, my nigga. Because if you think about it, every number do go to an alphabet. Ain't that's what they teach you in school? Come on, now make it make sense. Make it make sense. Well, they just don't teach you how far you can take this. You got to remember, Meek Mill said it in the song, it's levels to this shit. And it's just like with Latin language. They once told us, hey, yo, Latin language is dead. Well, right now, today, we speak modern Latin language. That was old English Latin language. Today, we speak modern English, and it's still Latin language, which means spells are still able to be casted. Sacrifices is still able to be made. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he know what he talking.
Allegedly, right? And that's probably what they're gonna say. I'll play. You know, there was no strangling marks around his neck or nothing like that. No signs of struggle. I'm assuming. I'm just going off of what they're saying. You know, there's no way to confirm any of the information that they come out with. You know, if we're not there, no foul play.
So check this. Another thing I heard too, I done learned that they love to pick the artists who love to get high, who love to get drunk, right? It's an easier overdose kill. If you're an artist that come in and you got a clear head, like some of these artists, and if you look around the music industry, it's not many artists that got clear heads. When they come in, they right away come in, they drink and they got bad life, they vulnerable, they got a lot of problems they've been through already. So you already know these artists come in trying to cover up their problems with liquor and drugs. And at the end of the day, those are the ones they choose and pick to do this type of shit to, right? they figure ain't nobody gonna really pay too much attention. Ain't nobody gonna care about them, and plus they not the type that can architect, how they feel or what's going on with them, or articulate what's going on with them. So, and that's just what I heard through the grapevine, and it looked like it's kind of real because Tay don't even look like he really be just getting smacked like that, like he just get high as fuck. He looked like a really headstrong dude, and that's why he became this super producer. You can't be a super producer being a weak-minded motherfucker or just a person who out there just getting smacked and can't think right all day. You understand? That will not happen. That won't happen. They don't pick niggas like that. So
once that autopsy come out, they're probably gonna say that he overdosed, and he don't even look like a junkie. He looks like a good guy. If you look at the pictures with his eyes, it's all in the eyes. You look at people's eyes, you see the window to the soul. You see what I'm saying? And he don't look like no junkie. But with that being said, LeBron got a different kind of look in his eye. With that being said, man, that's all we got for this video, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this video in the comments. Appreciate y'all for all the support, and I'm out.
Hey, that goes to show y'all, man, that a lot of this shit that's taking place, gang, is not far-fetched. It ain't no coincidence. This shit happening. It's behind the money. A lot of times it's behind the money. It's behind the rituals they got to keep up. It's behind everything I think that these industries are involved in that we know nothing about. You know what I'm saying? And the reason we ain't gonna never know nothing about it because we choose not to pay attention to it. We choose not to pay attention to it. Try to turn a blind eye to it, but it's all right. We know it's there. It's just about how to deal with it. Or it's about like, hey, you're gonna keep signing into these industries. You're gonna keep allowing them, and they only want the thirsty people. Or let's make sure they got a vulnerable life, a hard life, because we know we can offer this much. They're not gonna read the contracts. You feel me? They're not gonna do anything. They're gonna sign that paper. They're gonna sign their life over, and then you got them right in your hand. And that's and another thing is too, when these labels be signing people, they always end up. Do y'all notice how they always end up with a life insurance policy on the person? That's the weirdest shit to me too. How in the hell is you able to put a life insurance policy on this person without their consent? Well, I guess that's part of the clause inside the label's contract. These record label owners are getting it to the point where they get certain rules in the contract, that override certain things you got or certain eligibilities that's yours, or rights that's yours. They override it. I think a lot of these artists and celebrities don't read it. They don't pay close attention to it, and that's bad. I think that's why they say don't be so thirsty for these contracts from these big corporate companies. Don't be so thirsty looking around you, seeing what everybody else got, and then you start feeling like, damn, I ain't got nothing. I'm left behind. My life shouldn't be this. Well, God damn it, that's the trick that they are playing out for you so you can follow it. Man, once you follow that motherfucking trick, you get done like this, like Takeoff, like Take Keys, like Dobies, like Fat, Boosie old guy. You get done like the Young Dolphs. You get done like all of these Michael Jacksons, the Elvis Presleys. You get done like that, gang. You feel me? They do like that. And the reason is because they own you, nigga. I'm giving you all this money. You nigga, look, you making all this money just to say a couple words on a track. You think that's really that big? It's almost like one this gig I was at, and they make you stay there the whole 8 hours, but it's only dishes, right? And we get done with the dishes by like 2 hours. And he said it out his own mouth, like, look, I'm gonna be real. I don't gotta keep you guys here for the whole 8 hours and pay you for that because you already done. Yeah. So why in the fuck would you still keep us here? You gotta be keeping us here to fill your pockets up more, because if you send us home early, you ain't making as much money, and you the owner of this little job, right? It don't even make sense. So, that's what I had to, I'm like, wait, if these people just turn their motherfucking back and tell these jobs, look, we don't need y'all need us, then a lot of motherfucking corporated companies will shut down. But I think people around the world are scared. They're scared of the living situation they're in. They scared, like, yo, I ain't gonna have nowhere to go. I ain't gonna be able to live. Yeah, the fuck you is. Go back to living off the earth of how God and them was. What you mean? You know what I'm saying? What you mean? Yeah, it's gonna be a little hard, but you got to be able to go through that hard time because if you don't, you're gonna have to what they say. You can't beat them, join them. Nah, and that's what they got the world doing. The world start coming to join that shit that you ain't even with, shit that you feel ain't even right, shit that you don't even agree to, like your own death. You understand what I'm saying? At the end of the day, man, that's my time, gang. I ran that hour. I love everybody that tapped in, and make sure you pay attention. Go check out that group ABCs Murder by Numbers. Sign to Call Me Kinfolk channel if you haven't already subscribed to him. Share this video, man. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I am out.